What is going on, my fellow Canadians? I hope you all are doing well today. And to all my new supporters joining us, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Now, I hope everybody enjoys this video today just as much as myself. And if you haven't already, please feel free to check out the conversation, or should I say the meeting that was held yesterday with Canada PM Mark Carney and the United States current president, Donald J. Trump. It was very shocking and just outrageous, okay? And this video today that I will be reacting to relates back to that meeting that was held yesterday. So feel free to check that video out before you watch this one right here, okay? Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Everyone feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Gotta fix my do-rag, yeah. Today, I will be checking out Daniel Dale fact checks Trump's meeting with Canadian Prime Minister. The last time I actually heard from Dale was in 2016 when he was fact-checking Trump after the election, and it was crazy. It was just outrageous. And don't ask me why I was checking these type of videos out in 2016. I guess I always had it in me. I just decided not to make a YouTube channel about this type of content because I didn't know if anyone out there in the world would be as interested as me. But hey, ain't that crazy how life works? Let's jump right into it. I love my life. I love what I do, man. I love my life. I love y'all, man, and I love just educating myself, and I love my supporters who educate me. I just love life. I love what I do for a living. I love y'all, man. I'm serious. I love y'all. I love every single one of you watching this video, and you support me. Even if you're not subscribed, if you're a hater, I don't care. I love you because you just keep me going every day. Thank you so much.
CNN senior reporter Daniel Dale is with us now. Daniel, you are, of course, our fact checker as always, but sort of a bonus perspective in this moment is that you are as well Canadian.
Yeah. Yes.
So I wonder what stood out to you from this meeting.
He's a Canadian journalist,
I'll start
by
as
the
a
way.
fact checker. President Trump did not repeat a lot of the lies about Canada that I've been fact checking for months. I counted at least 11 false claims from the president about Canada in 2025. He told 2 of them by my count during this meeting, so better than usual, but it's worth fact checking those 2. So first of all, let's listen to a figure he used when talking about the U.S.-Canada trade relationship.
It's hard to justify subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year. It's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be?
So this 200 billion figure he uses to describe the trade deficit with Canada, and it's imaginary. The trade deficit with Canada is not even close to that high. It was about 36 billion, not 200 billion last year. Even if you only count goods trade, ignore the services trade, at which the U.S. excels, about 71 billion, so just wrong. I also want to listen to something he said about the importance of Canada to the U.S. As a trading partner.
Oh, man. Whoa. We are off by, whoa, by a lot. What are you just jumping numbers for? What is he just jumping to random numbers for then? These numbers got to be accurate in some way if Trump is saying them live, right? Or does he just expect the people to follow him and believe what he's talking about? Because he probably knows most people are lost. They're just trying to follow what he's saying, but they're lost. So he can say whatever. The facial expressions from Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, though, shows different. Yeah, the faces he was making was hilarious.
We don't do much business with Canada from our standpoint.
He didn't get a lot of words in for the first meeting, but what I can say is he got a lot of facial expressions and body movements in. Yeah, letting us know how uncomfortable he was with certain things coming out of President Donald Trump's mouth.
They do a lot of business with us. We're at like 4%.
So that 4% figure is wildly inaccurate again. About 17% of U.S. exports go to Canada. I can't definitively fact check this claim that we don't do much business with Canada, but Canada was the #1 buyer of U.S. exports in 2024, again through March this year, the #3 source of U.S. imports. So I think by any reasonable standard, Brianna, Canada is a major business partner, trading partner of the United States.
And as I mentioned, you are a Canadian. It's very interesting to see how Prime Minister Carney is approaching this, right? His opponent in this election was ousted from his parliamentary seat, and he's given him this olive branch to get back into Parliament, right? He's very much trying to unify Canadians as he goes into this fight with Donald Trump. How are Canadians feeling about it?
So I think, I won't pretend my personal circle is wholly representative, but I think there's relief in Canada today that the Prime Minister didn't get Zelensky'd. You know, we saw the social media post from President Trump minutes before this meeting. You thought, well, he might be kind of on the warpath here, might be setting up for an ambush. Instead, it was pretty conciliatory, even though he did repeat some of this 51st state rhetoric. He complimented the Prime Minister on the campaign in which the Prime Minister essentially ran against Donald Trump, so didn't have to compliment him on that. I also thought it was interesting how the Prime Minister decided to approach the President. It seemed pretty strategic. Number one, flattery. Started calling him, you know, you're a transformational president. You're here to, you know, tighten the border and improve the economy. So kind of buttering him up.
The Canadian
then
way.
Interjecting whenever he brought up the 51st state thing. That was a key part of the Prime Minister's campaign. He knows that for his own voters, he can't let that go. But then letting a bunch of other things go, not engaging in a constant back and forth that would get the President's back up and maybe cause an outburst.
That's right. That's right. He was trying to keep the tension down. But at the same time, Carney is going to be a failure to Canada. Yeah, I'm saying it. He's going to be a failure to Canada if he gives up the independence of Canada as the 51st state of the United States. He is going to lose all respect, and yeah, the people are going to regret putting him in that new high seat, in that new high position. How many of you agree with me? You are going to think of that man differently. He's a traitor, just giving up. He just soft. Be 100 with me. I can't see Carney giving up that easily, and Trump's not dropping them tariffs until he gets what he wants. So I feel like it's an ego thing. Carney doesn't really want it to be an ego thing. He is more focused on the political situation, on the economic problems, and our relationship overall with Canada. He's more focused on those type of things. Trump is more so business related, should I say. He's not really focused on a relationship and economic problems, or should I say everybody's economic problems. He's not fair with it. He's just focused on the United States, which he should be as a U.S. president. He's just focused on our country, and he doesn't want any friends. Seems like he's not focused on having them as an ally, even though he knows Canada will always be our ally. We will always be friends with Canada, and we will always protect Canada. But what about vice versa, though? Don't you want that same neutral type of, you know, friendship? I mean, we're going through this whole tariff situation and, you know, this back and forth because he already feels that Canada isn't doing enough for us and we are just helping them and this and that. Give them a chance. Let them. Give Canada a chance. Discuss them agreements out, man. Lay it on the table what you want to see from them, what you want to see better from them. You already complimented them and said that they have been achieving and, you know, catching up to reach NATO's expectations for that 2% GDP. But we got to give them a bigger chance. Should I say a better chance? We have to give Canada more of an opportunity to make up for themselves. My goodness. My goodness. I mean, knowing me, I'm probably going one of my big rants. Let me just hit play.
He got a lot of compliments too from the president.
Much going
it was
on.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Daniel Dale, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have CNN political and national security analyst David Sanger with us now to talk a little bit more about this meeting. What did you think about how it went, David?
Well, could have been a lot worse, right? It wasn't Zelensky, and it wasn't the 1830s when the U.S. and Canada had a terrible border dispute, and the Canadians, I think, ran one of our ships over Niagara Falls, and, you know, so could have been a lot worse. That said, it was pretty clear that these two men do not have a whole lot they're agreeing on and have no interest in giving in to the other side.
Right.
And I think that, you know, President Trump probably had an expectation that Canada, China, others would fold much more quickly. And now he's trying to figure out what you do. As Daniel just said, it's 17% of our exports.
Not 4% like Trump stated. 17. Oh my goodness. How you go from 200 billion to, what was it, 39, 36 million? What? That's a big jump. What? That's a big jump. He could have said 50 billion or something. That's an enormous jump. Enormous. Man.
That's not nothing. And of course, the supply chains are deeply integrated. There's one other thing that I think the president, if he didn't say it falsely, certainly exaggerated. He said, we don't need anything from Canada and we defend them. Well, the fact of the matter is they also defend us. Probably the most integrated
Duh.
defense system we have is defending the whole northern part of the continent. We do it in a completely interoperable way. There's really nothing like it anywhere else in the world.
Yup.
And I
Keep
think
going.
relationships like that are being threatened here.
Yeah, you are very smart, my man. You are very smart. Then what I just say? Canada's been helping us too. You got to give them more of a shot to help us out a little bit more. You can't just sit there and throw Canada under the bus talking about they haven't been supporting us. Have you lost your? Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
listen,
yes.
you go to any service
Maybe he has
academy
lost.
in the U.S. and a number of military installations, and you will find visiting members of the Canadian military. There is a lot of integration in training and even education. I also thought it was really interesting, and I wonder what you thought about this, David, of how Carney brought up during this Oval Office availability and also, before the visit, the head of state is King Charles, right, who he now has coming to open Parliament in Canada at the end of the month, which is something that has not been done by the monarch in almost 50 years. We know how Donald Trump feels about the royal family. He has been flattered recently by an invitation from King Charles to go over to the UK for, to be hosted. That's not an accident that he's saying, hey, by the way, look who our dad is, or something akin to that.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing for Canadians because, of course, their own relationship with Britain and its long history is a little bit fraught there. But, to your larger point here, when you begin to turn on your allies, the allies begin to look at each other and they begin to look at new relationships. So, what has the United States been trying to do with Europe, Canada, other major allies, Australia, New Zealand? They've been trying to get a common strategy versus China. And that's going to be really hard to do in a condition in which the president has made the tariffs be the dominant issue in our foreign relationships with each of these countries, even though we have a lot of other issues, not only with the Canadians, but certainly with China, certainly with Europe. And there are a lot of European leaders who are meeting right now in Washington, and I was with some of them this morning. And there's very much an attitude of, if the United States is going to create a vacuum here, we're going to have to find alternatives.
Yep.
David Sanger, always great to speak with you, and what an interesting moment this is today in Washington to discuss. Thank you. Mark, what did you think of this meeting?
Well, a couple of things. One, I thought it was actually pretty cordial, given the fact the contentiousness that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. I thought Carney held his own in a way that was respectful to Trump. We didn't see a Zelensky situation because that would have been a nightmare. It's really what's going to happen behind closed doors right now. The difference between Zelensky and other world leaders and Carney is that Carney has been a banker in the UK, in Canada. He's worked for Goldman Sachs. The guy's a money man. So Trump looks, up to folks that he thinks is smart. And I do think that he has respect for Carney.
And is that where, Tim, where you think the majority of the respect comes from? I also thought it was interesting that as the 50...
But Carney doesn't really speak about that. He doesn't really make it known as much to the public. You just gotta read up on him. Do some background research on him. Look at the schools he graduated from. That man has his education. You're not gonna sit there and say he don't got his education. That man has his education. That man has his experience in the banking system as well. He's a businessman as well. The man of all trades right there. He is highly intelligent. Don't take his quietness for granted. That man is highly intelligent. I was reading an autobiography about him the other day just for fun. I'm a nerd. Oh my gosh. I'd be exposing myself, but who cares? I love it. That man is just someone to look up to, for real. Someone to really look up to. He has more to brag about and flex than just being a business owner, a business share owner, or being experienced within business only. That's the man to look up to. I'm so serious.
first state conversation started
Give
to
him his
happen,
flowers.
there was just enough flattery, perhaps, on the part of Carney. Look, I know you're a real estate guy. I know you understand this. It's not for sale. Trying to use language, right, as the president had just talked about, that he knew the president would understand.
Yup.
Yeah, I think it was clear that that question was going to come up, and he was really prepared. I also thought it was really notable when he said he'd spoken to the owners of Canada. I thought that was a really kind of an interesting.
Meaning the citizens of Canada. But he refers to you guys as the owners of Canada. That's the man that has nothing but the upright most respect for y'all. And I hope you guys like this man and appreciate what he's doing for your country right now. And he's holding it down. And yeah, Canada is staying strong. Canada is staying strong. I can't see how anyone personally dislikes this man right here. Honestly.
Did recently elect him as prime minister. They're the ones who told him on the campaign trail, he said, that Canada is not for sale. And look, the president said never say never, and then you heard Prime Minister Carney there once again say never, 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 over and over again.
Yeah, and Tim, he talked to the owners of Canada. He also has spoken to the head of state of Canada, right? You have Mark Carney, who has arranged to have King Charles come and help open Parliament later this month, which is something the monarch hasn't done in almost 50 years. Trump respects the king, right? He was flattered recently by getting an invite to the UK by the king. What did you think of him also saying, yeah, Buckingham Palace isn't for sale, the Oval Office isn't for sale? That wasn't by accident.
No, it wasn't by accident. As I mean, this was the question that was going to come up. And I did think it was notable, too. He called him prime minister. In the past, he's called the heads of state of Canada, such as Justin Trudeau, for example, the former prime minister. He's called them governor, and on social media. And there were some questions, too, going into the meeting, given the post that he did make on social media about this, that kind of set the table and set the tone for the meeting. But as you were talking about, I do think it actually started off very cordially.
Mm-hmm. It did. It did. And like I was saying in the beginning of the video, if you didn't have the chance to check out that meeting between Carney and Trump, please go ahead and check it out, man. I actually just reacted to it about 20 minutes ago, and then this video popped up on my recommended. Literally, it said 15 minutes ago. Almost 200,000 views. I was like, oh boy, you must be crazy. I'm reacting to this too. Let's get ready. Come on now. As soon as I seen that Daniel Dale had to fact check Trump, I was like, boy, I ain't get to see one of these since 2016. This is 2016. So it was amazing being able to just check this video out today. I didn't even give you guys the chance to recommend it because I was so on point with it. I think all day today I'm going to be refreshing my computer and just staying up to date with this whole situation, this topic, and yeah, I'm gonna just be reacting all day. So you guys stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video of Dale exposing Trump's lies, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reaction videos. Feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members. Whoever you feel may be interested in joining the family along on a daily basis to check out some of these educational videos. Feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link in the description down below as well if you would like to recommend some more of these fascinating, astonishing videos for me, myself, to react to. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for choosing me today to watch and for joining the family along if you are new to the channel. Welcome, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one.